darkest moment, when I believed that life was so unfair and I felt all alone out on the streets. I was pretty good son and kid. Once in a while, I would get in trouble, like get caught stealing candy out the five and dime store, and little things like that. But in general, I was pretty good. Gave my parents no trouble. Well, my family was a loving family, mother and fathers, well structured, hardworking parents, and they guided us with good education and good values. Mom, I love you so much. You never gave up on me. I was homeless and I had a substance abuse. I had a crack addiction for over 30 years. And I I grew estranged from my family and I left Connecticut and came to New York City to get lost. Then I found myself at 42nd Street in Times Square, panhandling just to make money so that I can afford my crack addiction. And I lived in the Port Authority for many years. And then one day, you know, I can't explain it, but I knew that I was released from my addiction and I no longer I needed to be at the Port Authority, and I left there. I found myself in the steps of the rescue mission.
And I think when people finally show up at our door, there's not much hope left. So I want them to be surprised by what they experience. So the most important thing that we've done, I think, is to create an experience within the first 10 minutes of them coming into our building that they're seen, they're heard, they're understood. The idea is that we're not going to just feed you and clothe you and give you a nice bed and a hot shower every day. We'll do all of that, but then once that's there, let's discover what it is you need so that you can thrive again.
What Jerry and Mariah McCauley began in 1872 started a movement that literally spread from east to west, coast to coast, all across the country, with missions popping up, doing the very same thing in their communities, helping men and women who are struggling with poverty and homelessness. In the 1860s, Jerry McCauley was a man of quite a reputation, a young man who actually had acquired the nickname River Rat. And it's kind of funny because he was actually a pirate. You don't think of pirates in New York City, but the way he made his money was going out with his buddies in the cover of darkness into the East River and robbing boats as they brought their wares back and forth between Brooklyn and Manhattan. Eventually got caught, and he went up the other river. He was sent up the Hudson River to Sing Sing prison, where he did time for the crimes he had committed. But while he was there, 5 or 6 years into it, he had what he would call a spiritual experience where he really met God and felt that his life could be and was being transformed. And when he was paroled, he had this vision for coming back into the city where he had created so much havoc, and to help men like himself, because he knew them and he knew what they were like, and he knew that their lives also could be changed. So Jerry and Mariah decided to do something about it, and they went out and got some money, a little bit of money. It was a lot back then, $500, and they rented their first building near the Brooklyn Bridge and hung out a shingle that said Helping Hand for Men. And that became the basis for what would become the McCauley Water Street Mission and eventually the New York City Rescue Mission. So Jerry and Mariah McCauley were true innovators in their day. When everyone else thought that the poor and homeless of their city belonged on the streets, they knew differently, and they made a space for them to change their lives. Today, on our 145th year, we continue to innovate, introducing a new program that we're really excited about called Thrive. Thrive involves 3 pathways to get out of poverty and homelessness. The first is emergency food and shelter, and then the second is workforce readiness, and then workforce development. Our vision and our goal is to help people move from just surviving to truly thriving.
These are not people to be feared or ignored or despised or rejected, but to move into their space, and that's where the seeds of hope get planted.
This was a place I've never been more comfortable than. This was my first experience of home outside the place, the familiar home I had known for 30 years. I'm one of those fortunate people who had the most amazing family, but I never got a job when I graduated because I didn't speak a word of English. And I went back home to run my family business, which was a small back of the house. 20 rupees is approximately 40 cents, 30 cents. I would do a whole meal for 25 cents or 30 cents. I came to New York and in 2000, and that is when my new life started. I said I was born again. New York is a different city. It is a mother because it has the power to reincarnate you. I came here to hide. Before 9/11, it was very easy to get jobs. So I used to work very close by, near Worth Street. There used to be Delhi. I was very hungry, but I was also very tired. Freezing cold New York City winter. Then I was standing in the line of people and I said, what is this? I think it's a New York Rescue Mission. I stayed here for many weeks. I also used to go and volunteer in the kitchen. I had lost the way. Somehow, a place like this could guide me and bring me back home. Homelessness can be dealt with. Hopelessness, when you lose hope, that is very much bigger issue. Only under the ruins you can hope for the treasures. I survived this. I'm gonna survive everything, anything which comes my way. I think I'm an extremely ordinary person who didn't have any big dreams. Eventually I will have a kitchen with a roof. But there have been so many people who have been a part of this journey. It was not me alone in the darkness. How many people have passed through these corridors more hopeful? A place like this is a true reflection of what New York City stands for. It accepts you just as one of them. There's somehow inside you they plant a seed which becomes resilient and says that eventually this will grow. I think New York Rescue Mission is like the sun. Even the sun has no idea at how far it gives life.
May 27th is the epic day, and it was a day where I had begged my hero for deliverance, except I had begged for over a year for death, and finally mentioned it to my doctor, who has walked with me through much, and he said, you have to change your prayer. I'm like, why? I mean, to me it was the logical answer to what was wrong. And if God would choose to deliver me from this life, then no one would have to know what was going on. And when you have 7 children and you poured everything in them, you don't want them to have to go through hard things, or things that are hard to believe. And I did not want to bring shame to my husband. But when I'd been married 3 weeks, I knew that I wanted out. And I didn't know at that time how to articulate what was going on, and I just thought, probably I am strong, but I'm a very compliant strong. He's a very charming, good-looking, nice man, very well respected as a preacher, specializes in marriage and family, the dream. And yet, he's a passive-aggressive sociopath, who guilts you and I ask for permission for whatever I do, and he gives it, and then guilts you and hooks you into the point where, you beg for death. You just beg for death. So after 32 years, I talked to a counselor about it, and she was like, if he was beating you, would you leave him? And I said, oh, yeah, I know that's wrong. She said, you'd be far better off if he beat the crap out of you every day. And that information was, on one hand, validating, on the other hand, it was like, what have I done?
It's hard to do it by yourself, that you need people in your life. So allow people to come into your life, and people are willing to invest in you. I came to the Rescue Mission, and the Rescue Mission was a blessing. It instilled hope back into my life. I was hopeless when I came here, and the love of the staff and everyone here at Rescue Mission started to believe in me. It's the greatest investment that you could ever make in the world, to invest in someone and then watch somebody receive a new life, get their life restored and find their dreams. Each homeless person you see is a person of great value, but they just don't realize it. I still have a lot of life, and the truth is it's never too late. I have found my happiness in my new life, and today my life has purpose. I'm chasing my dreams. Today I feel the sun, and I feel that anything's possible.